Welcome back to Signal Live. We're here today to talk about some great topics, everything from banking innovation to digital currency to crypto to a lot of unique things that maybe you wouldn't find in a workplace. And today with me, I have our VP of IT and E-Services, Alec Patrick, who will be joining us. And here he is now. Welcome, Alec.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Alec is somebody who has been working at Signal for what now, 5 years? Is that right?
Yep, 5 years.
So, Alec and I have a unique story to share about how we met because we actually met over LinkedIn. But before we share that story and talk about some of the topics I mentioned, I want to give Alec a chance to just tell everybody a little bit about himself and a little bit about his story. So, Alec, would you mind sharing about yourself?
Sure. Name's Alec Patrick, like Felipe said. I've been in the credit union industry for about 15 years, uh, various different positions, mostly in IT, but I've done a little bit of everything. So started in help desk, moved up to IT manager, did a little networking, did a little bit of digital banking, done a little bit of everything. And I actually went to Geico Federal Credit Union. I was really excited about the opportunity. I was really excited to kind of move from the credit union over to Geico, and that was my plan for that was really like my plan, my goal, and what I wanted to do. And so then I got a random message one day from Felipe, just asking me if I was interested in, just talking about, jobs. And I was kind of open because I was having some challenges at the credit union. So I was open to looking at other areas, but really my focus was Geico and what I was going to do. So I started talking with Felipe, and it was just an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And here I am now at Signal, and I've really enjoyed the move from Geico to Signal. It's been great. It's been empowering, and we've been able to do a lot of things and change a lot of things. So all in all, it's been great, and I appreciate you reaching out to me, Felipe. Wouldn't have happened without you, man.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. And before we dig into that story, I want to make sure anyone that is joining us, whether you're watching us live or on replay, feel free to share in the comments where you're watching us from and any questions you might have for either one of us, especially Alec as he shares some of his insights. Alec, back to your story. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I think a lot of us, especially on LinkedIn or other social media platforms, we talk about building meaningful relationships and how to connect with people. And with Alec, the story he just shared, I had reached out to him and try to connect with him because we were both in credit unions. And then when we had an opportunity, I reached out to him and say, would he be interested in talking about an opportunity that we have available? And we chatted a little bit through the DM, and then we decided to go and meet for coffee at Starbucks. Talked more about the opportunity. Then he applied, he interviewed, got hired, obviously. And in 5 years, he has done amazing things at Signal. He has implemented so many wonderful things that have made our company more efficient, be able to provide better service to our members. And he and his team did amazing things to help us prepare for the pandemic that allowed us to be more effective during the pandemic and being remote. So, with that being said, I wanted to, I know we've been teasing a lot the last few lives about something new that's happening at Signal, some enhancements that we've made to better the experience with our members. And I was wondering now that we can finally talk about it, if Alec, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about what those enhancements look like.
Sure. If you go to our website now, you'll see a little button at the bottom right-hand corner of the website that says "Let's Talk." It's been something we've been working on to integrate chat and digital engagement with our membership, as opposed to you needing to call in. You can just click that chat with a representative. You can actually do video call with them. You can just actually have a conversation with them over your cell phone, but it should work from any device that you're on, and allow you to get right into our sort of call center queue right from our website. So it offers you the ability to kind of get with us no matter where you are, what device you're on, and really provide a better digital engagement for you, as opposed to needing to call in and wait in the queue and try to do things over the phone. The other thing it adds is the ability for us to co-browse with you. So if you're struggling with online banking, or you're struggling with something that you're just needing somebody to help with, it allows us to take a look at your screen and be able to walk you through the process that you're going through. So it allows our service representatives to be able to help you easier because they can see what you're going through, and it makes your experience better because you're not needing to try to explain over the phone what you're seeing in your screen, and trying to explain, click the X at the top right of the hand in the corner, or you're trying to figure out where the X is. So it just allows a much better collaboration between the representative and yourself. So all in all, we think it'll be a great experience for our members, and we're going to continue to expand that by adding extra functionality to that chat. We'll add some artificial intelligence behind it so that you can have answers 24/7 a day, 24 hour, 24/7. 24/7, and be able to really use that as your number one go-to stop to get assistance at the credit union.
That's so cool. And I love the fact that it's going to allow us to be more engaged with our members. And again, some people might like the videos, some might people like the chat, but that's a huge differentiator for us. And I say that because I noticed when I started looking at our competition and even the larger institutions, a lot of them don't have that feature. And that's something that I think is so amazing because how many times have people been on a website searching for something and not knowing where to go and just need a little bit of direction? Even from a career side, I'm excited from an HR standpoint to use it because when we were going through the training, I could see people visiting the careers page. And how great would that be for me to be able to reach out and say, hey, can I answer any questions about this job you're looking at? So again, being able to add a whole nother layer. So if you visit our website, you definitely will get a whole new experience. And again, it's been an amazing experience. And Alec has been the lead person really with these projects. So we do have another project coming up soon that's we're working on right now. That is there anything you can share about that? Because that's another big one that's gonna. Each project seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's exciting. But can we share about the next one, Alec?
Sure. I guess I'm allowed to. Francois may kill us, but we're actually working on revamping our online banking and mobile app. So I know a lot of people have complaints about our current application. It's basic, it meets the needs, but we're really looking to enhance that and improve that. And one of the things we're really looking to do is make it open so that we can integrate with, there's fintechs out there. There's all types of different components that you can sort of bolt into this and make the experience great for the membership. So we wanted something that's open, flexible, that we can stay up to. We talk about innovation and making sure that we can stay up to speed with what's going on. Things are changing so much. We're going to talk about crypto today. That's one of the big topics in the banking world and just in general, and being able to stay up with these different technologies as they change, as vendors change, as the top players change. Sometimes you have a top player 5 years ago and they don't innovate and somebody else comes and takes over them. So you need to be able to integrate and adapt with all these different folks out there to offer the solutions that keep you competitive in the banking industry. So more to come on that. It should be coming prior to the end of the year. So keep an eye out for a new online banking and mobile app from Signal Financial.
I'm excited about that, and I might get in trouble for sharing this, but one of the features I think is really cool that I think again differentiators. How are we being innovative? How are we standing out amongst the others? And you talked about the importance of that, but there's one feature that I'm excited about that we all know when we all lose our debit cards or credit cards, you have to wait sometimes 3 to 5 days to get that new card in the mail unless you pay extra to rush it and get it overnighted. One of the new features, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that we'll be able to send somebody a digital credit card to their Google Wallet or Apple Wallet, and until they get their permanent one in the mail. Is that true?
That is true. That may not be the day we go live with it, but definitely will be coming down the pike very shortly after that. But yeah, that's one of the areas that we really don't have a good solution for today. Our cards are sort of broken off of our current app, so you really can't get in there and do a lot of the card controls and things that you may want to be doing today right there from your app. We have like a separate app that you have to log into them. So I'm not a huge fan of having a separate app that you have to use to manage your banking relationship. So that's what I was talking about, the openness and being able to work with the different vendors that we have. So with this, we'll offer a lot more of that, a lot more control for your cards. And like Felipe was saying, as the card space evolves, our app will evolve with all those new features from cards and travel notices, disputes, putting all that type of stuff right there through your mobile app. So yep, that's all coming, and we're excited to offer that to our membership for sure.
Well, I'm excited because I know that with all these changes, I know that a lot of people in my family bank with Signal, and I have one niece that she's waiting for some of the technology to get to the level that we have because that she likes to do everything through her phone, and that's what we're going to be able to provide is people to do all their banking through their phone and online and make it a better user experience. So I'm excited to see what comes down the road, and thank you for everything you're doing with that because you're doing an amazing job.
I
Um,
appreciate that. One
So
thing I
let,
wanted to say, Felipe, is if you do use our chat feature, we put a survey at the end. So please leave feedback. That's one thing we're really looking at. It's going to be integrated into online banking as well. So the chat and the video calls and the screen sharing, all that's going to be built into the online banking solution, the website, so that you can use that. So, but if you do, please leave your feedback. We're actively looking at that, and we're taking your responses seriously and doing our best to incorporate your feedback into future releases and future changes. So I just wanted to call that out, Felipe.
No, it's a great point because that's, I mean, that's how we can grow and improve. If we hear back from our members and let us know what we can do better, and doing that survey really does help because it lets us know where we can focus our attention on. Um, and I think with the Glee experience, people who join, I just want to make sure that everyone's clear. You're getting a human being when you reach out to somebody on the video chat or text. You're not getting a robot responding back to you with automated messages. You're getting a human being. So it is that personalized touch, but again, making it more friendly and user friendly for you and customized so that you can use what you feel comfortable using: video, chat, audio, or maybe you just want to pick up the phone, and that's fine too. So, Alec, I don't know. I hear that you have a certain passion about a certain topic and that you enjoy talking about. And I think I've heard you talking about it a few times, over the years. But crypto. For those of us that maybe aren't savvy or knowledgeable about crypto, could you just explain it in very basic terms so that we could understand what crypto is?
Sure. Yes, that's something I got into back probably 2015, maybe around that time. I don't know. It's been a long time. And when I came to Signal, something I was dabbling in and just talking to people about, and so I've been talking about it a lot at work. So of course he's gonna, he's heard it maybe once or twice. But I
Once or
really think
twice,
it's.
once twice per week. Let's be really clear.
But it's something that I think is really going to impact the future. Just really the technology behind crypto. Being in IT, I like to look at the technology behind things and just sort of examine that. And I feel like the technology behind crypto is really what's important. You have Bitcoin out there and Ethereum and all these different tokens and coins that are out there. Which one of those are going to rise to the top and be the one that we're going to use? I'm not 100% sure. You have your top two right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the two I think will kind of continue on, but it's not necessarily about which one of those goes on. And for me, it's more about the technology behind it and the problems that the technology can solve. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm very, bullish about crypto, because I feel like the technology behind it is going to solve a lot of real world problems and help us with things. And so then when I look in the banking industry, I even think it can solve a lot of problems in the banking industry. It can do a lot of things that we do from a banking industry. So then how do those two industries and two technologies and two beasts, how do they come together and work together and try to solve for that? So that's one of the reasons why I bring it up at work all the time, because I want to make sure that as this technology evolves, we are right there with it and keeping up with it. So you asked what it is. Really, it's a blockchain. It's a general ledger that's out there, that's available for anybody to view. So if I have a wallet, I have an address. It's on that general ledger. If I make a transaction to you, it is there on that general ledger for anyone to see. Now you see my wallet address, but you don't see that it's Alec that owns it, which is sort of the how you stay anonymous behind the blockchain and behind crypto. But what that allows is, I was talking to Felipe before, and one of the things I really think it's going to change is the concept of ownership. And I think about today and how you have ownership of things, and it's really a physical ownership. So how do you prove that you own something? How do you prove that you own the dollar in your wallet? How do you prove that you own your car? A lot of those the ways that you prove ownership are physical. So I hand you a dollar, and you assume that I own that dollar, right? And it's a physical exchange of money. Or if I have my car and I sell Felipe you my Tesla, uh, there's a exchange of a title, of a physical title. So you have this physical constant physical ownership that you have. And what I feel that crypto is going to do is take that ownership and transform the ownership to this general ledger, where that all of these different forms of ownership can be stored on this general ledger, that everybody can see it. And so it'll become digital now. So instead of me actually giving you a title or me handing you a dollar, you'll hand these crypto tokens back and forth. And that'll be really the concept of ownership moving forward. And I think it'll revolutionize things the way that you had you think about physical versus digital, and in our industry, what has that done? And what we've been talking about is online banking and this digital experience where you can come to our website and speak with folks, and you're sort of taking, instead of us needing to do that in a physical realm and walk into a branch and talk to that person, you can now do it over the internet. So it's become a physical interaction and is now digital, all because of what the internet has brought to us. I was using the example with Felipe of Netflix and Blockbuster. Everybody knows that, right? Blockbuster used to walk into the store, you got your DVD, walked out, took it home, played it on your player, and you think about that physical experience. It was a long process to get that DVD, come home. Sometimes there's lines at Blockbuster around the store, and you think about what that experience is like today with Netflix, where you just sit in your home, open that Netflix app, and find your movie and start streaming it. So it's really that concept of transforming from physical to digital. We're doing it today with all sorts of different things. We're doing it with online banking. We're doing it with our movies. We're doing it with music. And so I think that the next step for that is really taking this ownership and moving that to the crypto world as well. And I think about the a block of gold. That proves that I own a block of gold. I have it. I'm holding it. It shows that I'm wealthy because I have this huge block of gold. But what can you do with that? If I need to go give it to Felipe, I'm carrying this huge block of gold. We got to go take it to his house, sell it, exchange money. So again, that's a physical ownership of that block of gold. And I think that's one of the things that Bitcoin is trying to solve for, is that the ownership of wealth. And then you have on the other side, you have, like we talked about, I use a lot of times I use the concept of baseball cards, and what Ethereum's doing on the other side of that, instead of wealth, it's focusing on applications and other things outside of wealth. So you have baseball cards, for instance. If you have a baseball card collection, you may have it up in your attic. It's physical. Somebody comes to your house, you flip through it and look at it. If you want to trade it, you have to pull it out. But what gives those cards value? The value comes from the fact that there's collectors out there who are looking for that Michael Jordan rookie card, or the Babe Ruth rookie card, or whatever, right? That's the collection behind it. But you can have that also digitally. People can still want to collect digital items. So I see that even something like baseball cards can transfer from that physical over to the digital, and then you're actually putting those things on the blockchain, moving them between your crypto wallet, and storing those things on your crypto wallet, as opposed to having your baseball cards up in your attic. So I know you asked for a quick
No, no, that was great.
explanation, but
But you made us realize we already have experience with doing things digitally. We already have experience doing things that are not tangible. I mean, just the first example you gave, we used to go to the bank and take our cash and deposit it physically. Now we can sit there and do it, take a picture of our check, or do transfers on our phone. We're not touching it. It's all digital. So we already have experience, but also, like I said, the movies, the DVDs. I love that you mentioned Blockbuster. For those of you who don't remember Blockbuster, it used to be a store that rented out movies for us, and we'd have to physically go there. But you're right. So much of the stuff that we're doing today is already digital. So we already have experience doing it. But you mentioned something earlier, and you mentioned about the baseball cards, whether people collect baseball cards, comic books, whatever they could, artwork. And I've heard about people buying digital art. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? What's that like?
yeah, that's definitely a controversial topic a little bit in the crypto world, and people talking about this digital NFT. Basically, it's NFTs and non-fungible tokens. Those are essentially, like we're saying, this form of ownership of a digital artwork. And so you've probably seen there's something called the Bored Apes. If you haven't heard of it before, take a look at it. A lot of celebrities are using that now, but that was something that they developed. It was just these basic little pictures of monkeys, and there was 10,000 or so that were developed. They're all different and unique in their own way, and then they tied them to the crypto space. And so then they're all unique and different. And then what makes that valuable? What makes artwork valuable? It's just the demand for it. If people have demand for it, then it's going to be valuable. But what creates that demand? It's hard to say. What made Van Gogh paintings worth a ton of money? It's sort of scarcity. It's the fact that you can't just, not anybody can have it, right? So it's just that scarcity of having it. And I think that as crypto comes, and as we have millennials and these younger folks come up, their version of what's valuable is going to be different than some of ours, or some of the older folks who look at those Van Gogh pictures and say, hey, this is worth a ton. Maybe these new NFTs and board ape pictures are really what is resonating with the youth and the younger folks. So uh, I think you can just convert pretty much anything to crypto and make an NFT out of it, and then that NFT sort of shows that you own it. And then, like we were saying, that's the proof that you own it. It's digital. You can store that NFT in your digital wallet, and then now you can transfer that ownership to anybody, anybody you want. And it's just an interesting changes that we have. It doesn't always make sense. I don't think that sometimes value and these I say Van Gogh, what makes his art worth money, and so you have to use that same logic behind some of this new stuff and may not understand it, but if people are demanding it and people are the demand is out there, then it's like the market is there, then there's going to be value towards these things. So also, if you're artists out there, if there's any artists, I would highly suggest taking a look at the digital space, the crypto space, and how you can convert your art into NFTs. And definitely get familiar with that, because as this space evolves, I think there'll be a lot of opportunity for artists who didn't have the chance to have like a art show in the physical form, can have digital art shows and have people buy your art digitally with the crypto, through the crypto world.
That's exciting. I mean, and it's funny you mentioned the art shows, because I mean, I think that's something some of the people haven't thought about is, another opportunity for their art to be able to be seen and sold and purchased. I know we do art shows at, we just had one at our Leisure World branch, and then we have art in the city center that's coming up in July actually. And that's a brilliant way for them to really enter the crypto space with something that they're passionate about. But is that still in the early stages compared to the actual cryptocurrency, or is that out there pretty solid?
I would say it's out there fairly solid now. There's marketplaces for it. It's, crypto in itself is a little challenging. I was going to talk about a little bit about, some of the key ways that, we talk about integrating banking and crypto, and some of the things that are challenged with crypto is that it is difficult. You need to manage, excuse me, you need to manage keys, you need to manage the security of your wallet. And so some of that is challenging and intimidating. So I think some of just the barrier to entry in the crypto market is what keeps people out of it, because you don't understand how to do it. And I think that's where banking can kind of help. And we talk about these art shows, and I think, if we're doing a service to folks, and we understand crypto, then we can help people get into this, into that world, and offer that maybe as one of our digital services. But I think that's one of the challenges with crypto, is just that it's tough to get into today. And I think that's one of the things that'll change over time, is that it'll get easier to use, just like the internet. And, before, the internet was a challenge to navigate. The websites weren't that good. They didn't look good. So there was just, if you look at the internet sites from the 90s versus what we have today, you'll see a huge difference. And you think about even cell phones and what they've brought to the ease of using the internet and apps. We talk about music. Like, I can go onto my music app, and it's actually pulling all this music from the internet, but it makes it simple where I can log in with my fingerprint. I can, just search really quick right there through this app. And I think you'll see that same evolution in the crypto space, where it will get that easy to use things, and there'll be apps to search through these for these art, for the art, and you'll have marketplaces for it. And it's out there today, but just the challenges are that it's a little more difficult to use, and a little, you have to understand the crypto a little bit in order to get into it. So I think that's something that we could even potentially look into, to assist our membership with getting into that space.
No, that'd be a great seminar to have. And so going along those lines, obviously crypto's continued to grow over the years. It hasn't been going away. It's getting bigger. What does the future of crypto and banking in your mind? How do you think that might look in the future?
That's something I've struggled with a lot. I see crypto doing a lot of things that banking does today. If I have my dollar and I store it in the bank and you earn interest on it, you can do some of that same thing with crypto. I can have Bitcoin, or Ethereum, and I can have those stored in my wallet, and I can earn interest on those. So I feel like the two worlds are kind of intertwined a little bit, and so that's why I really feel like we should stay on the, stay really heavily into this technology to make sure we understand how it's growing, understand how the banking industry is going to fit into it. But the places where I see that crypto is struggling with right now is, number one, the it's challenging to use. So we talked about that a minute ago. It's difficult for, if you're not really invested in it and researching it, then you may not understand what this crypto thing is, and so it's hard to get into and understand the technology behind it and understand what it's doing. And so I think that's one of the huge barriers to entry to get into crypto. And I think that's where banking can kind of come in and say, all right, this is a challenging thing, but what we can make it easy for you. We can tie this into our online banking app. We can build your mobile wallet or your digital wallet into your, you talked about putting your credit card into your Apple app, right? And your Apple wallet. I think we could do that same type of stuff with crypto over time and sort of seamlessly integrate the two, where that way you're just logging into your Signal banking app, your Signal credit union app, and you have your crypto wallet right there with you. So I think that's one of the challenges. You also, with crypto, you have to store these digital keys and these private keys to keep your wallet secure, and those keys can be easily, it's like a phrase, a really long phrase, and you can't lose it. If you lose it, then you can't access your wallet. So if you have 100 grand in crypto, you lose your keys, then bye bye crypto. And you probably heard stories of people who had, millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, they've lost their keys and aren't able to recover it. So again, that's another area where we could be key custodians, and hold the keys for folks. That way they don't have to worry about where it is. You have safe boxes today where you kind of come and store your valuable items in your trusted financial institution. So that's something that we could also offer to store those keys for members. And then the last piece is that it's unregulated. So, there's regulations in the banking industry. If I give Signal $100,000, it's sitting there, something happens, there's insurance behind it that protects my money, right? But then in the crypto world, you probably heard about rug pulls and different things where things have crashed to zero. And so if you have money in some of those areas, then there's potential to lose everything that you have. Whereas in the financial industry and the banking industry is highly regulated, there's protections in place for your money. And I think that's another area where banks have some leverage over crypto, and then these two worlds can combine and just make a great thing for our membership.
Well, it's clear that your passion comes through, and I'm grateful that we have you here at Signal, because I think we will be on the cutting edge of it because of someone like you really helping educate us, our members, and the community. And I'll say from the comments, I'm seeing people definitely are liking what you're saying. Just to highlight a few people here, Zion, just happy to have you here as well. Glad you're here. We have Jasbir, who, oh, I'm sorry, that's not the one I wanted to show. Jasbir was, oh, I'm sorry, Cordelia was giving a thumbs up. She liked what you said there. We had a LinkedIn user that shared hello. But then Jasbir shared here that the Bored Apes NFTs are cool. He just checked them out. He'd like to have it on crew neck shirts, which I'm sure somebody has them out there on crew neck shirts. Um, and then we have Jess, you're also sharing that you clearly have a passion for and you can hear it in your voice. And then we have Giovanni, who also commented, I never forgot when I asked Alec about Bitcoin, crypto in 2015. So you've left a lasting impression with people, obviously, because clearly your passion comes through. And that's, I think, one of the things that really is exciting, because you got me excited about it. When I heard you talk about it, I started thinking about, wow, can we like incentivize our members, if somehow with crypto in the future, could we do it with our employees? What if we could do a match, an actual 401k match somehow with crypto in the future? So just the possibilities seem like they're so amazingly out there, and there's so much that we could do with it. So that's really exciting. Anything else new about crypto that you think people should know about?
Just if you don't know about crypto, you are on the fence about it, I would just recommend that you do your research. I'm not telling you to go out and buy Bitcoin and buy Ethereum and buy these coins. Like I was saying earlier, you don't really know which one's going to be the top dog over time. Back in the day, Yahoo, and you had Netscape, and you had some of these other companies that were leading the field on the internet space. And who is it today? It's not them. It's your Googles and your Netflixes and some of these, these other sites that are Amazon, that are really have taken over and lead the way, that didn't even exist then. So I think the same thing will happen in the crypto space, where you're going to have some of the leaders today that may kind of shake out and not lead in the future. So it's I can't really give you a specific crypto to look at, but just make sure you look at the technology behind it and just think about what real life things it can solve. And there's a lot out there that crypto will be able to solve. And I could go on and on about different areas where it could improve things and make things better. But there are so many areas out there where having this sort of distributed ledger out there that's available for anyone to use can solve things in various industries. And so I think the technology behind it is here to stay and is going to continue to grow and evolve and get better. And as it does that, it's going to get easier to use, it's going to get more ingrained in your everyday life. And if you can jump on the train now while it's early, I think you have the opportunity to kind of get in before it gets hot, and ride that wave until it's in everybody's using it. And I think it's inevitable that everybody's going to be using it just because the technology behind it can solve so many things, just like the internet solves so many things. So I just think that the technology is great. I think it's going to really impact things, and that's one of the reasons why I'm passionate about it, and one of the reasons why I'm passionate about it at work, because I feel like it's going to impact our industry a lot. And if we don't keep an eye on it, then we could be like Blockbuster was with Netflix, and I want to try to avoid that as much as possible.
Well, and I totally love what you just said, and I think that that was great advice for everyone. So I hope everyone heard that. Also, you talked about leadership, and I think that's an important thing that you mentioned because you're right. The right leadership is going to want to push and look into these things and be innovative. And I think that having that right leadership that allows that to happen, but also encourages your teams to do that. And with that being said, we have a comment here from none other than Francois, our CEO, and he actually said, gave a nice compliment. He's like, we are glad to have passionate people working for Signal. And again, it shows the leadership support. Look, he's supporting us right now while you're on this LinkedIn Live. He supports your initiative to look into the crypto. He supported my crazy ideas to go on LinkedIn Live with people. So leadership support is a huge thing. And I think, thank you, Francois, for being such a supportive leader, because you really do let people do what they do best. And if Alec didn't do what he did best and share what he did about crypto, a lot of us would not have known it as much as we do today. So thank you for that, Alex. And Dustin Gray, he chatted and he's like, he cannot wait to help our membership excel in this area. So that's definitely something excited. And we also have another comment from Jasbir here and says that Katina coach, better to get on the wagon now than later. So that's a little it's an inside joke, I think, between Katina and Jasbir and Alec there. So, but again, thank you for sharing that about crypto and educating us a little bit more, because every time you speak about it, I learned a little bit something new. So I'm hoping that others that are watching have learned. Um, just getting ready to wrap up here a little bit, but one thing about Alec. First of all, I wanted to congratulate Alec because he just had a new baby girl, and
Thank you.
Alec, was this your first, second, third, fourth? What number is this?
One more, five,
Five.
five,
Okay,
five girls.
all girls. So Alec is looking for anybody that wants to manage an all women's volleyball team, because he will have wonderful girls that are tall. If you can't tell, Alec is very, very tall. So he might have a phenomenal volleyball team in the future. You never know. But congratulations on that newborn. I know she just was what? She's only a month old now.
Yep, 4
Wow,
weeks.
wow. So well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
As far as Signal, and our culture here, in your own words, in your opinion, why should people look at Signal as far as a place to bank, as a place to work? What is it about Signal that stands out?
I think we have great people, and you can see by the people who are commenting, they're here supporting us as we do this. I think we have picked great people that work well together, who are genuinely interested in our membership. So, as a member, you know that there's people behind the scenes who are really looking out for your best interests and really doing their best to offer you a great member experience. Then from an employee perspective, we like to have fun, as hopefully you can tell from this conversation, but we also work hard. And I think if you balance those two well, then you can have a great time and also get a lot accomplished, and you're not stressed out. And I know I have a lot of gray hairs, but you don't stress out, and you can have a fun and enjoyable life while also working hard. And I think that's one of the great things about Signal, is that we work hard and play hard, and get things accomplished and care about our members. So I think that's really I mean, everybody who's come here has really enjoyed the people and working with everyone. And I think that's one of our great differentiators that you don't have everywhere is a good culture, a good group of people to work with. And I would say for sure that's one of the reasons why you would want to work here. And then if you want to, and then that translate, I think, into the membership where if you have a great group of people there that are working there, they're going to offer a great member service to you, work hard to get you the services that you need. And so it great offers a great experience for our membership as well.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think it's just a huge thing because that those relationships that we build, it creates that positive environment for the membership and employees, like you said. And we do definitely work hard and play hard. Tomorrow night we have a game night that we're doing, but also you've done we started trying to create some ERG groups and personal interest groups, and I know that one of the ones that you created was the fishing group, and stuff like that. That just shows you how much fun we try to have, whether it's just talking about fishing or I've actually gone fishing with Alec before at a pond up here, or not pond, it was a lake, wasn't it? And those are things that I think you bond with your coworkers. You do things that are fun because when you work hard, you're bonding, but when you play hard, you're bonding too. And so I think that leaders like Alec really set the example of how to lead their team. I know your IT team, you all have a unique culture alone there, but e-services, you have another culture there, and you really do a great job of creating that open environment where people feel comfortable coming to you with questions, but also sharing their ideas. And I think that's the brilliance of this place also is people are not afraid to share their new ideas, and we welcome that. And that's why we do a lot of the innovative things that we do is because people try creative ideas. I know your team and you are, again, mentioned it earlier, were one of the huge reasons why we were successful in going remote. For those who don't know, right before the pandemic hit, before we knew that we were possibly going to have to go remote, Alec and his IT team, they had the wisdom to think, let's test our core. We might not be able to handle everyone working remote. So they talked to our CEO, they all agreed, and we did a practice mode. I think it was the Friday, maybe it was 2 Fridays before the pandemic officially hit. And we were able to test everything, get our own laptops. And because of their wisdom and guidance, we were able to hit the ground running and didn't miss a beat. And it was really to their wonderful ideas. And they're just pushing us to be more innovative and thinking ahead. So thank you for that great wisdom, because that really did help us out a lot.
Yeah, it's you need support from the top down, and I think Francois does a great job of.
Oh, did you just freeze up or did I freeze up? All right, if Alex just froze up, he should be back in a second here. But if I froze up, let's see. We'll give him a few seconds here. But I know that if y'all can hear me, if I'm still alive, I will say that I know that Alec was talking about Francois and his leadership skills, and again, and how he really is somebody who likes to be informed. He's knowledgeable, but he definitely is somebody who allows people to do what they do best. And when they come to him with a proposed idea that really is well thought out, he takes it seriously, and if it makes sense, he says go for it. So I believe Alec just sent me a message that they had a little power blip there, so he might be out. And so we'll give it another minute here before we wrap up in case he comes back. But for those of you who have not had a chance to check out Alec, he is on LinkedIn. Feel free to check him out there. This is being live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, and on LinkedIn, all three. So definitely check us out there. And Alec, thank you again for taking time with us today. I'm glad that the power blip didn't happen until the end. So thank God the timing was at least good. And thank you all of you for joining us here. We hope that you all got some information out here that you found valuable. And if you want to hear more about it, put some comments in the chat in the replay. We'll be happy to go ahead and have you respond. And Alec did come back to say, there you are.
Sorry about that. My power's been kind of flickering on and off here, so my apologies. It just flipped off. My computer turned off.
No, that's good, and I'm glad it was good timing. But I'm glad that it was your power because I wasn't sure if I was talking still live or not. So, but here so we have a LinkedIn user, and they say user because they don't have their name public, so I don't know who this is. But they said, let me know when the next fishing trip is happening. So whoever you are, LinkedIn user, let us know in person because we don't know who you are. And then Jasbir mentioned again that we are the dream team. So again, showing how much your guidance and leadership has really impacted the team. And Giovanni said, thank you both. So thank you, Giovanni, for joining us, and thank you, everyone else. Alec, any last closing comments or anything else you want to share about anything that we shared or anything we haven't shared? Oh, you're on mute. Is your mute off? Oh, there
That's,
you are.
oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, my computer's still trying to catch up. I was saying my mic wasn't detected. Nothing. Nico over there can't get I do have a UPS Nico on my critical devices computer here clearly. Nothing major. I think we covered a lot of great things. As I was saying, you need support from the top down, and I think we have that great here. But all in all, I really appreciate the time to talk about this, and thank you for letting me just exude about crypto and talk about that. And I really appreciate the time. I think that we're doing great things here at Signal, and that's a testament to the team, and a testament to the people that work here. So it's really been a great 5 years that I've been here, and I appreciate that first meeting when we had coffee together. So thanks all the way back to then, Felipe. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you too, Alec, and I'm glad that that going from a LinkedIn connection to now a working relationship to a friendship. It's been a great journey, and I'm happy to call you a friend and a colleague. So, and by the way, well, Nico is making fun of us with the technical difficulties, but I also mentioned the LinkedIn user actually is Katina. So Katina would love to go fishing. There you go.
All
So
right.
good to know that. All right. Well, thank you everyone for your time and attention. Again, if you didn't get a chance to catch us live, go ahead and catch the replay and feel free to put in comments. Alec and I will reply back to those comments if you have any questions. And if you haven't checked out Signal, check out Signal today. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you.